So you want to get rid of your Google Ads agency, right? Okay, I hear this time and time again. And in this video, what I'm going to show you is 5 things that you need to consider before you want to consider getting rid of your Google Ads agency. What qualifies me to give you this advice? My name is Ajay Dhunna. I've been running Google Ads for the best part of 20 years now. So there's quite a bit that I've seen, and there's so many different campaigns that I've worked on throughout my life, so I know what it takes for Google Ads campaign to work properly, and normally what are the common mistakes which leads customers to move away from you because something's not working. Now, before I do continue, what I'd like you to do is, hey, 70% of people watch this channel, but what they don't do, they don't subscribe. They constantly watch my videos because I'm looking at my analytics every single week, and I see there's so many repeat viewers. What I'd love you to do, hey, just hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications button, so that what it's going to do is that this video will then be sent out to more people, and more businesses will be able to benefit from this video by you simply subscribing to it and watching it. Okay, now here's 5 different ways, and the 5th one is going to be one that you really need to keep an eye on, because that is going to determine exactly what you need to do next. And sometimes that alone, the 5th item I'm going to tell you, that alone will make its own decision for you. So you might not even need to have a think about the first 5 that I'm going to tell you about. In addition, I'm going to tell you a bonus thing that I've covered in my book. My book I recently published called How to Win Customers with Google Ads. Got my tongue twisted there a little bit. So you'll be able to get a copy of that book for free, shipped to your door, and it is the link of the book is in the description below. So here we go. The first thing that you need to be considering when something's not working within your Google Ads account, right, is as follows. And it's this. Goals and KPIs. Now, what I mean by that is a lot of businesses, what they do, they give their Google Ads account to an agency or a freelancer or their marketing manager and say, hey, get on with this, get us loads of leads, right? Or get us loads of conversions, or get us loads of, we want lots of sales and whatever. And that's all great, but what does loads really mean? And what normally happens is that there's an expectation level. And what it means that you want a certain amount of leads or sales per day or per week, because you might have overheads, right? And you've got all your staff in your office. But what normally happens is the breakdown in communication. So you've got your expectations. I want this many leads minimum per week to get my business going, or even to break even, or to be in profit. And there's the agency here who hasn't really understood what your KPIs are. So there's a bit of a mismatch going on, and what you need to do, you need to bring that in line. And it's really, to be honest, it's really the job of your marketing expert or your marketing agency to come to you and say, hey, before we do start building up your Google Ads campaign, tell us what your KPIs are, tell us what your goals are, what are you hoping to achieve, how soon, what type of budget have you got? So it's the number crunching that they need to get right from day one, because by having their numbers right and having your goals and your KPIs set correctly right from day one, you know exactly what you're working towards. And it doesn't mean to say, hey, for example, sometimes you might say, I want a cost per lead or CPL of, I don't know, £20. Now that might be just a dream figure that you might want £20. So what the agency should really be doing, they should be looking at your existing account and saying that, hey, what are your current cost per leads? So if you're achieving a cost per lead of, say, £40, it's up to the agency to then advise you to say, hey, I know you want to go for £20 per lead, but at the moment you're achieving £40. So we can't just drop from £40 to £20. We've got to implement a strategy in place, or change of keywords, or change of campaign types, or something to sort of bring both in line with each other, or even re-educate you as to why it might not be possible immediately. But again, so the key is communicating with your agency and seeing that if your agency, even what are you going to ask your agency? Ask your agency as a test that, hey, do you understand what my KPIs are, what my goals are, what are we heading towards, right? And if they say no, it's a bad sign. If they say, yeah, we've got these numbers here, right, then it's a good sign, because you both know what you're working towards. So when I find that your goals and KPIs are not in line, companies normally get upset and they think, hey, this isn't working, let's just change agency. Instead, go to your agency and talk to them about your goals and your KPIs, okay? The second thing that you need to look at in order to determine whether your agency is doing what they really should be doing, and whether you need to change or whether you need to stay within your current agency, is as follows. The second thing is transparency. Okay, and what I mean by that is your agency should be very open about exactly what they're doing. There are no secrets in Google Ads, right? There's no secrets in any marketing strategies. And what I find, what that really winds customers up, is when an agency is doing some work, but they're not communicating back to you as to what they're doing, right? Or they say, hey, we're doing something that's so sophisticated you won't understand it, or whatever. So they're hiding things from you. So what's really important is that they are open with you and you understand exactly what they're doing, and you tell them that I want to know exactly what you're doing. And that's not to say down to the keyword level or down to the cost per click level. You don't need to get too granular, otherwise too much time goes into for the agency. They're then spending too much time in reporting back to you, and you don't want that either, right? You want them to be working on your account, but at the same time they need to be totally transparent with you in terms of what they're doing this month, what they're doing next month, what their strategy is, what bidding strategies that they might be using, what problems they might have encountered within your account. And that then, what it does, it builds up this trust relationship between yourself and the agency itself. Yeah. So the third thing that you need to be, the agency must be doing, is testing. They must be constantly testing. And if they're not doing that, then there's something fundamentally wrong, okay? So what you need to be asking them is, what tests are you doing at the moment? And what I mean by that, they should be testing your ad copy, right? Changing different ad copies and seeing which ad copy is working, which ad copy is not working. Testing your keywords, right? Testing your landing pages, testing your bid strategies. And it's called A/B testing, right? You're testing like version A against version B, and they must be doing that. So a question to you, to your agencies: what type of tests have you done? And let me see the results of it. Not just tell me what you've done, but let me see the results of the tests that you've done, or what are the changes that you've made as a result of the tests that you've already implemented. What that would mean is that they are doing above and beyond, not really above and beyond, I shouldn't really say that. I shouldn't really say above and beyond. They're doing exactly what they should be doing, but they're doing it properly, because they're not just running a straightforward Google Ads account. They're constantly testing and tweaking your Google Ads account in order to help you achieve your goals and your KPIs. So testing is an essential part of running a Google Ads account. Okay, now let's come to the fourth thing which your agency must be doing. Reporting. Okay, what that means is that they should be reporting to you on a monthly basis, if not weekly, and that depends on what type of budget that you have, right? If you've got an absolutely huge budget, they might be reporting to you daily or weekly or whatever, but at least once a month. You should be getting a report, and the report should be telling you, first of all, at a high level, what they've been doing. So you've got a breakdown of the types of things that they've been doing, but also the metrics. So you should be getting numbers. And what I mean by that is not just how much you spent, but not just how many clicks you've had for your website or how many impressions that you've had for your website. You know, I've seen reports which have been absolutely terrible, because it's not worth the paper it's written on, because it doesn't really matter about how many clicks you get, it's about how many conversions you're getting, right? So some of the key metrics that you want to make sure that your report includes is costs, your conversions, your conversion rate, and your cost per conversion, or your ROAS, which is your return on ad spend. Then you can work out the maths that, hey, for every £1 I'm spending, I'm getting £3 back, or I'm spending £5 back, or £6 back, right? It's not just about clicks, it's not just about impressions, it's about how much have I spent and how much I've got back out of it in terms of ROI or return on ad spend. So that's something that your report must contain, and you must get this report at least once a month. The last one, which is absolutely imperative that you do periodically only, is as follows. Change history. And what I mean by that is you can actually go into your Google Ads account, and on the left hand side there will be a button called change history, and you'll be able to see the exact changes that your Google Ads agency has been doing. So what I would do is I'd click on that, and I'd select the date range of say last 30 days, which is on the top right hand corner, and I'd see how many changes have they been doing. Now, what you don't want to be doing is looking at each and every single change, because that's getting too granular. But you just want to gut feel that have they been doing changes, right? If they've been doing no changes at all, in other words, it'll tell you how many changes you've done. It could say 0, or it could say 400, it could say 3,000, whatever it is, right? So you want to be seeing that, are they doing any change, or are they doing nothing at all? Or are they just doing 1 or 2 changes but charging an absolute fortune, right? Because it doesn't matter what the reports say, you want to make sure that they are actively working on your account, right? So you can do that, and you can, if for example they're charging an absolute fortune and you find that within the last 30 days there have been no changes at all, or there's been like 1 change or 2 changes, then you might question that, hey, what are these guys really doing, right? And it's not the case that you need a huge number of changes, because a huge number of changes do not equate to an efficient account, right? You've got to do whatever changes are necessary, but I've never yet come across an account which on a monthly basis does not require a reasonable amount of changes. So you can look at this and you can then question them. If they're charging you a fortune and they're not doing any changes, then you can even look at the previous month, and then that number will speak for itself in terms of, hey, is this agency worthwhile keeping, or are they just pulling the wool over your eyes? Okay, so I hope you found it useful. Now, one other thing I do want to cover, there's in my book called How to Win Customers with Google Ads, which there'll be a link somewhere either here or here, and you can watch this video on what I'm talking about. And what I spoke about is something called the digital marketing success triad. And what that means is that even though you've got a Google Ads campaign, right, the success of your Google Ads campaign depends on 3 things. It depends on the traffic, in other words, the quality of the traffic that you're getting on your website. So you're getting a good number of traffic, so a reasonable quantity, but also the quality of the traffic is really good. The second thing depends on the actual website itself. Okay, and what that means is that your website's usable, people can navigate through it, people can find the information that they want, your landing pages are well designed with great call to action. The third thing of the digital marketing success triad is the content. Now, what that means is that your pricing is right, your information is right, and people can understand what the product or service is about. If any one of these fail, whether it's the website, whether it's the traffic, or whether it's the content, the whole lot will fail. Okay, so if you've got great traffic and you've got a great website, but the content is rubbish, the whole lot's going to fail. Or if you've got a great website and if you've got great traffic and your website is poor, so people can't use it, or it's too slow, but you get great content, everything's going to fail. So when things aren't working, it's worthwhile considering, is it really the agency, or which one of these elements is it that's not quite working? And what you should really be doing, you should be working with your agency, or your agency should be working with you as a part of their team, right? Don't treat your agency like a supplier. Treat them as an integral part of your team. And by working together, you can work out which one of these are not working, right? And then address that issue, right? Is it the landing page? So do we need to make changes on the landing page? Is it the wording of the website, or the pricing, or the delivery information isn't there, right? Or is it the quality of the traffic? And by working together with your agency, you've got a better working relationship. And this is exactly what we do with our customers within our agency. So if things aren't working, right, it's not like, hey, oh my God, it's not our fault, it's your fault. take away the blame-oriented culture. Work together as a team, and as a result, you'll be happy as a business owner. Your agency will be happy because you're working with them, and you're working together to work out exactly what's going right and what's going wrong. So I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please put your comments below about what your thoughts are, and have you ever had changes with your agency, and if there are, what's been your experience. But jumping ship to ship isn't always the best solution, because every agency that takes on your account is going to have a different opinion, and they're going to have different strategies and different ways of working, which could end up making your account even worse than what it was when you first started off. So I hope you found that useful. Do hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you on another video. But before I do, click on the link below and get a copy of my book, How to Win Customers with Google Ads. Similarly, if you do still want to reach out to someone, say, hey, can you just do a free Google Ads audit? There'll be a link somewhere around this video. Click on it, get in touch with us, and we'll be more than happy to take a look at your Google Ads account and give you some free tips and advice about the sorts of things that you should be changing within your Google Ads account to make it more profitable. Take care. Goodbye for now.